they charge you for being on child support. Like it's like a $55 fee to be on child support per order every year that you gotta pay. It affects your credit when you buy, affects your tax, all because motherfucker. And they get it if you lose your job. Our jobs like these jobs is they opening and closing there. You know what I mean? Like so it's a lose, bro. It's not a win for nobody.
What you gotta find it like with the job thing? For me, it's like you gotta create other ways then. Cause like me, prime example, dude. I worked in that corporate world and in and out of jobs world and stuff like for a long time. 2020, I was like full force for me, and I have not looked back. I don't take another job, and I think every man gets to this point where they like what you're doing right now with proper and everything. Every man gets to this point where they're like, okay, hey, I now have to provide something. If they're not someone that wants to stay in the corporate world, how do I make sustainable income and grow wealth for my children? And I think that's what you're trying to do with proper. Well, that's the exact same thing I'm doing with my company. Like we came up with this, we understood that we needed to cut to a common goal, and we went ahead and said, hey, this is how life is going to work. I'm going to make these sacrifices. I'm going to push for this. And once I get to this, I don't have to make these sacrifices anymore. And then I grow from the next level. And that's how most men typically think when it comes to growing a business or wealth for their children.
Yeah, you're right. Because it's more of a thing we ain't got no choice now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like especially things, nothing is guaranteed. No. Yeah, man, and it's like
And nothing is our fault, but the way, well, I take that back. A lot of things are not our fault, but the things that are our fault, we always have to find a way to find a solution to those problems. We always have to find a way because at the end of the day, it's on us. Like, for instance, not like anything like, yes, the state's child support situation is messed up, but you had the kids. So as a man, you got to figure that out and we'll get them kids. But there's a lot of men that don't figure it out, which is why it hurts the men that are actively trying to figure it out.
as long as you try.
Trying the right way. You got a lot of people that say they trying and they be doing the same thing over and over.
No, for sure.
Different results. Oh, literally insanity.
Yeah, bro. Because it ain't shit shaking. You gotta switch it up a little bit.
I heard a guy yesterday at one of the spots I like to go to.
But back up, you're right though. Like at the end of the day, it's all on us.
It is.
It don't matter. It don't matter the circumstances that come with it. At the end of the day, fuck. I mean, you had sex, you had a kid.
You can say fuck.
You know what I mean? So it's yeah, maybe. But you did what you did to have a child. So yeah, regardless, you gotta take care of it. But work out ways to take care of it collectively as a parent. Again,
right.
What we've all been talking about this whole time is communication.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Putting people on child support just because y'all don't work out in a relationship or because you want to be vindictive, that's fucked up because you're fucking up this man's life. It's not well, he didn't buy me diapers this day because he feels like, no, you need to get you some money too. And I think that's where people be missing it at.
Well, and I've even talked to women. I've talked to women that have completely just shut like the kid's father out because they're like, oh no, he ain't a good dad, or he ain't gonna be a good dad because he wasn't a good boyfriend or whatever. And I'm like, how do you make that determination about what's good for that kid in that type of level? Like, because he was a bad boyfriend, you think that he's going to be a bad father?
I think that's rhetorical.
You don't know what kind of father he'll be. It's like the first kid.
And just because that's your experience, just because that's not everybody else's desire. Because there's plenty. Just because me and you didn't work out, don't mean me and Shorty ain't gonna work out. Because there's plenty of chicks. Just because you mad at me, it's plenty of chicks before you. Shit, they cool in the motherfucker.
They could very well be the problem themselves. Because honestly, with the thought process like that, and you're pulling a kid away from a father, and the father hasn't even had a chance to try to be a dad. That's your thought process. Your thought process is flawed because nobody thinks that that's a good idea when you see that children that are raised by one parent, not both, do significantly worse in society. Like it's a recipe for failure
every time. And if you can't communicate to somebody that you lay down with, as you know what I mean, and had kids with. Then we gotta look at you too.
Yeah, like why did you even get pregnant and y'all have kids? Why were y'all having sex to begin with if you can't even communicate?
Y'all communicate enough to get the fucking.
Man, and it got to a point where two people met a spot where they had to now make compromises to make the relationship work, and both, if not one or the other, decided I'm not doing it. And now you're in this spot.
And now the man got to pay for it because of your decision versus now we both fuck.
And sometimes it's not
it-
often, but sometimes it happens the other way. I've seen people get their the baby mothers put on child support.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know. I know.
But these are the ones that keep their stuff in order, and they're like, "No, look, this is what's been happening. This is how it's been this whole time. I'm the one that's literally raising the kid."
But it don't even have to be like that.
It shouldn't be.
Like just if you, as a parent or as a I don't know, as a mother, you choose to take full custody of the child. You don't have to have the child can go with the dad.
Right.
But society got it for the mother to be set up. Cool. That's what y'all want to play. Y'all want the role. Y'all want that role, and then y'all play the victim when y'all get the role that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? When if you're not handling your responsibilities, just send them over. If that's a
But sometimes that's on both sides though. Sometimes you got a shitty ass daddy, and then you got a mom that's probably like,
well, what is a shitty ass daddy, bro?
a dad that literally don't want to be there for that kid.
So that's a shitty ass daddy.
They don't.
So what do you?
They don't want to take care of that kid. They don't want to be there for that kid. They
So
don't
what do you
raise that
call?
kid, none of that.
What do you call somebody that does? You know, they get their kids, they spend good time with them, but they may not be able to help out financially.
That's not being a shitty father. Finances are not the only part that come into being a father.
But then why is that?
Because that's what society has dubbed the norm. We've allowed us to get into this space where, if we'll just talk about it from like the average, because I know there's nuanced situations, but the average woman, if we look at it, it's all about what does that person provide for me. It's not what is the love that this person gives. What is the emotional piece of this that this person is doing for me or the family or my kids. Is what do they provide to me?
Take out the money, then what you got left.
That's what I'm talking about. It's not the money. The emotion is not the leading thing in it.
Exactly.
Well, like most of the kids I talk to now that are trying to date, they say they don't go on dates because it's too expensive to go on dates. Because they want to go certain places, or I don't have a girlfriend because holidays come up and they always want to get this, or I gotta buy this. Like, these are like high school kids I'm talking